What if, again, what if this is true? About the real Jesus, about what he really said. That's been purposely taken away, information taken away from the Bible, and then purposely improvised with something else. What if? Again, this is Dare to Speak, and I've been wondering about this for a while. I know how much a lot of people don't like the idea of what I've been saying about Christianity and about the real life of Jesus. One very good video that I did, just to let all of you know about what I personally feel about Jesus Christ, my personal opinion about him. It was entitled The Real Jesus versus the Fake Jesus. That was the title of my video that I did a couple of months ago. It hasn't gotten that much views yet because I wasn't all that well known in YouTube back then. So I strongly advise for any of you to watch that. The Real Jesus versus the Fake Jesus. That's the title of it. And also, what I said before in my previous videos about Jesus not really existing the way the Bible made him out to be. And about the Council of Nicaea and all the corruption and how they purposely distorted the true life of Jesus in actual history. And they did distort. And what I wanted to let everyone know too is the so-called miracles that Jesus did. He did do it himself, obviously, but not in the way that people think. What he did, anybody can do. And like I said before, he was trying to give us information that each and every person is God. That we have the ability to evolve and become gods. That's what he was really trying to tell us. To take personal responsibility for us to evolve and become gods. And a lot of the stuff that I was saying, and the whole I am, and like I said, which I explained before in other videos. Now, when Jesus was dying on the cross, now this is from a particular source, which again is not conclusive, but I do have a suspicion that this is true. That's why I'm saying what if. He wasn't talking to God when he was on the cross. He was calling out to the solar deity Helios. So he can empower himself with the solar power of the sun. Because every human being is part of the sun. We're a starlight. The sun is a giant star. And that all those pictures of Jesus with the so-called halo, or that energy around his head, is really the sun. The solar power of the sun, representing the power of the universe. That's the real representation of him, letting us know that we're all part of the same thing. We're all part of the overall one, the sun. He called out to the sun god Helios, which, if I remember correctly, in other mythologies, in other stories, he's regarded, Helios is regarded as the sun god Ra. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I heard from one source. And everything like Amun-Ra was part of the Egyptian beliefs. If you really think about all these kind of things and how Jesus is related to the sun, so when they said the Son of God, it doesn't mean S-O-N, son, like the way it was purposely distorted and made into that. It means Son, S-U-N, of God, the God's Son. So he means the Son of God in that sense. When he was resurrected by the power of the sun. The sun god Helios empowered him. Now this is very interesting to me if this is true. But there should be no reason whatsoever for someone to get angry at what I just said right now. It's not like I'm saying this is what's true, you better believe it, the kind of thing. At least I'm not a typical Christian fundamentalist who would say that, or Jewish fundamentalist, or Muslim, or whatever the case may be. Any of those three religions, but especially Christianity, because it's the most dominating. That's the only reason why I'm picking on them. It's not because I like to pick on them. It's because of the fact that I need to make a point. These are the most dominating, the most strongest of all three institutions. It's like the main institution. It's not really a religion. It's more of an institution to brainwash and program people, telling them what to think, what to feel. And this is something that's taught to us. We should have the freedom to think for ourselves, to rely on our own intuition. If we're wrong, and we end up picking the wrong type of ideas, and it comes out to be a disaster at the end, we end up making mistakes. That's part of being human. You make a mistake, okay, fine. You learn from it. You move on, so you won't make mistakes again. That's part of being human. It's better to give advice to someone. You really should do this. You really should think like this, because that's way better than someone saying you better do this, you have to do that. And don't question, just obey. I mean, that is just, I'm sorry, but that is just straight up bullshit to me. You're taking away the person's personal responsibility to think and feel for themselves. So it was the sun god Helios that Jesus was actually calling out to. Again, suspicion-wise, this is what I believe to be true. And all I'm doing is for some of you who actually would care to even do research on it. Do some research on it and come to your own conclusions. Please don't be narrow-minded and say, I don't need to do that. The Word of God in the Bible, this and that. If you still want to believe what you want, what you believe right now, before I even said this, that's fine. But asking people to investigate to find out if there's any truth to what I'm saying from the information that I got from certain sources, I don't think that's too much to ask. If you don't want to do it, fine, but don't be talking shit, saying that I don't know what I'm talking about. At least I bothered to do research. I grew up. Even when I used to believe in God, I used to question things. So why this, why that, and then I'm being seen as someone who's just saying blasphemy, just because I'm asking questions. Well, drop a comment. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions whatsoever, I would love to hear from you. And to all of you, again, take care.